Hi, this is Alexander Morentin, owner of My Fit Life and author of Better Living with Whole Foods. The subject of how the French actually eat is a topic of great discussion here in the U.S. People wonder how they could eat the fatty foods that they do, such as the cheeses and even the wine, and still stay as slim as they do. And the answer really has to do with the quality of the food they eat. They eat actually wholesome whole foods that are either raised or grown from beneficial sources. So they're actually beneficial for them to eat. And they actually take a lot of care in the culture and the quality of the food that they eat. And it's really brings that home is an article that was recently written in the March 15th edition of Time magazine, the one with Tom Hanks on the cover. And it seems that the woman that wrote the article, she lives in Paris, France with her son, and he goes to elementary school there. And the school actually came up to her and asked her, "What does your son eat for lunch?" Because what happened was she was taking her son out of school during lunchtime so he could eat at home, so he had healthier meals at home. And they actually came up to her and said, "Listen, the food here is very good. The meat is 100% French." And then he picked up a brochure and gave it to her. And the brochure, it lists in great detail the lunch menu for each school day over a 2-month period. Okay? The week's menus, the menu for each week is posted outside of every school in the country, and it's changed every Monday. Okay, that's amazing. All right? And the variety is astonishing, she says. No single meal was repeated over the 32 school days in the period. So they don't repeat one meal over a 32-day period, okay? And every meal includes an hors d'oeuvre, a salad, a main course, a cheese plate, and a dessert. So basically a 5-course meal. Okay? And also along with each lunch, they also have a suggestion for the evening for what you should eat at night to complement the meal at lunch. Lunch is a bigger meal for the French, and they eat a lighter dinner. Okay? And she noticed the care that they put into their meals when her nanny became ill and she had to actually take her child to school, and she was able to observe this, and she noticed that they sit in silence at a table in their school cafeteria as all 5 courses are served. And one day when she arrived early to collect him for an appointment, she says a server came over and said it would be good for her to wait until the dessert course was over so he could actually finish his meal in peace. And then she overheard, the children that were waiting to be the next to be served. They were waiting outside in the hall, and the person that was managing them asked them to be quiet for a second, and he explained what they were going to eat. And he said, "I will now read you today's menu. First, we will begin with the salad," and so on and so on and so on. And so it just instills in them at a very, very early age the proper sequence to eat your meals in and the importance of these meals. They are not allowed to eat standing up or sitting on the floor or on the go. They actually have to sit at a table amongst their peers and quietly eat their meal. And that's very, very interesting. Much different than what we're taught here. I mean, when was the last time that you actually sat and ate a 5-course meal for lunch during the week and relaxed and was able to just sit there and eat it, digest it, and enjoy it? All at the same time. And during the week, so they do this every single day of the week. It's amazing, okay? And it's really, really interesting. The laws governing meals are sacrosanct and are drummed into children before they could even hold a knife. Okay, and that's really, really awesome. I think that's beautiful. They already know the rules. Sit down and take your time because food is serious business. Okay, they understand that your food is your nourishment, and it affects every single aspect of your health, your well-being, from your physical health to your mental health. Okay, and they have a various amount of rules. Do all your eating at a table, etc., etc. And they French children, they quickly learn that they will not be fed anywhere else. If you're somewhere else, if you're standing over here at the sink, at the counter, on the floor with your friends, you're not going to eat. You have to sit at a table, and eat the proper way, in the proper fashion. French children are not, they don't have any access to snacks from soda machines and snack machines because they're banned in France. And also, although they have a huge economic debt too, it's like $2.1 trillion, but their lunch programs are very, very well funded, and they're cutting back, in civil jobs. They're cutting back all over the place, but no one has dared mention that they cut back on their school-funded lunches. They don't dare mention it. And by the way, these things are school-funded. They're funded by the government. Okay, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, she says that the school itself, it's overcrowded. They're really rude. They don't even address you by your first name. The parents aren't allowed into the classrooms. She can't tell you what the child's learning there. So I don't know how good or bad their school system is as far as education, but as far as meals and the education about the food that you eat, she says, I can't tell you what he learns on a given day, but I do know that on February 4th he ate hake and Basque sauce, mashed pumpkin, cracked rice, Edam cheese, and organic fruits for lunch. Okay? And that meant stuffed marrows and apples for dinner. The city of Paris said so. So that is amazing. That is awesome. I was walking into Albertsons the other day, and I saw a kid from La Habra High School, which is near my house. He's sitting on the curb outside in the parking lot eating hot Cheetos, gummy bears, and an energy drink, one of those monster drinks. It's like that was his lunch, on his lunch break. Much different. I could guarantee you that their incidents of things like ADD, ADHD, and all those other nice little initials are much lower than over here. And it's just amazing to me. And I really think that this is something that would, be good to strive for here in the U.S., especially in California, where fruits and vegetables and organic fruits and vegetables and choice whatever meats and stuff like that are available. So I hope that sheds some light on how important meals are, how important the food that you eat, the quality of the food that you eat, that you take your time and enjoy your meals. Don't be stressed out going through the drive-through, wolfing that meal down at the red light. That does nothing for you, and it just except for harm you. That's the one thing you got to remember, is that there's no middle ground where you're just neutral when it comes to food. You're either doing harm to yourself or you're doing good, and you want to strive more towards doing good, obviously. So again, I just wanted to fill you in about that, about how the French actually do eat. This is Alexander Morentin, owner of My Fit Life and author of Better Living with Whole Foods. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.